Welcome back, everyone, to the Song of Waves and Wind, where we are back here in the Hall of the Prince, where we're about to find out who this visitor is that Imrahil spoke of in the last episode.
Just a few days ago, the City Watch apprehended a man lurking outside the city.
This man was dressed as one of the Corsairs of Umbar, and made no apology for it. But when he named you as a friend, the Watch was forced to let him go. I might have commanded otherwise, but the guards had to make a decision, and they made it. Holding a prisoner, a friend of the hero Piney, well, they did not wish to make such a mistake such as that. I have had them keep a wary eye on this man ever since, just to ensure that he caused no disturbance in Dol Amroth, but perhaps it would be best if you spoke with him to learn his intentions here. Find Berandur, the leader of the Watch, and ask him for the latest report on this Jajax's whereabouts and behavior. Berandur is in the southeast of the Palace of the Swan, at the bottom of the steps. Alright, I guess we could do that. Find out what Jajax is up to now. I mean, who else would be calling me a friend in this area? At least that's dressed up like a Corsair. Oh, and it looks like Lothriel also needs something from me. Hello? Yes?
While you are here in the city, I would ask of you some assistance with a rather delicate matter.
Well, you see, when I was at the king's wedding this past summer, I happened to hear a tale of the Rohan Lord, Aelmer. This naturally made me quite curious about the Rohirrim. Yes, I was wondering if you might do me the favor of speaking with Noseth and Naramil in the library of Safzir. Ask them to show you anything that they may know that's relevant to Rohan and his leaders. Oh, and don't tell them that it was I who asked. We don't need to start any tongues wagging for no reason, right? Yeah? And what else?
Though my father has returned to the governance of Dol Amroth, I am still much involved in seeing to the city's many duties and tasks.
Yes, and one of these duties is receiving daily reports from the Swan Knights who patrol the countryside. A recent report on the state of Hashadir has given me cause for concern. I ask that you speak with Captain Tarek about what they have found. I think you could be of help. You will find Tarek near the Swan Knight's Keep, probably seeing to the training of his fellow soldiers. Alright? I should do that, man. Now, let us head out to the library. And, oh yes, and of course, find out any information about Jajax. Ah, here's Beriador. Hello there. I was asked to inquire about Jajax.
You have just missed the report from one of my guards concerning this man.
If you hurry, you might be able to catch up to the pair of them. Look for Thoilion to the east and beyond the market stalls, where he said that this Jajax lingered. Okay, I shall do so. Well, I think that checking up on Jajax first is probably the more important of them. Let's head out, find Jajax. Here's the guard. He's just looking about. Hello, is there something wrong?
He was right here. I don't know how he gave me the slip.
What if you check in the courtyard to the north? Perhaps Lindor saw which way he went. Captain Beriador is not going to be happy about this. Alright, I'll see if I can find him. Or that is up this way? Ah. Oh, here we are. No Jajax. Hello there. You know what happened to Jajax?
I am at a loss.
We watched this fellow from a goodly distance for the better part of 3 hours, and he made no suspicious movements or gave any sign that he knew that he was being observed. And then, in a snap, he just vanished. Are we certain that this is a reformed corsair and not some irksome water spirits instead? Well, I'm not too sure about the word reformed. The irksome part might be true, but in any case, yes, sorry about that. It is to be hoped that Captain Buriador will not be too cross with us. I will go to him now with the hope, no, with the certainty that we will find this Jajax again before he causes any serious trouble. Yes. Alright. Look, okay. I gotta go. Maybe I'll find Jajax along the way. Let's see. Well, I do notice a couple of quest givers down there. It sounded like a rather strange gull. Somewhere around here, right? Then again, maybe I'm a little off in all this? How about this? Oh! Yeah, somewhere around. Ah! There he is! Ah, hello there! Those guards are fortunate I chose to do no more than merely embarrass them. I could have slain them very easily if I wanted, but you're my friend and they can live for today. Oh, to think you believed our paths would never cross again, Pineleaf. Oh, it seemed to have been the pleasure of entering my story at the least once more. Okay. Yes, not much has happened to me since I saw you last. Oh, do you want to hear of my adventures? Well, I guess I better want to because I'm sure you'll be telling me anyway. That's right. My brother Daxmat and I believed that we were done with Gondor when we bid you farewell. I thought we would return briefly home to Umbar, and after finding a new ship and a new crew, we would set sail once again in search of treasure. It was a fine plan. I know all your plans are a fine one. Yes, I've heard that before. Well, that is the story, is it not? Okay, well, let's hear this.
My brother Dax and I returned at last to Umbar Barhalber, the city of sails.
Ah, it is good to be home. The sea breeze welcomes us back to Umbar. My name may be spoken of all across the world already, but it will mean a little more to hear it spoken in the streets of our city. No doubt my exploits will earn us a tankard or two of ale at the Crab and Cutlass, or in the Teeming Net Tavern. You're always partial to the hungry deep, weren't you, Dax? Oh, but we have work to do. The drinking will have to wait, but just a little while, right? All right, where shall we go, brother? We will not stay long, my brother. I need a proper ship and a bigger crew. Where should we seek for those things? Are there more guards than you remember? Well, who knows? This way, Dax. Ah. This way? Something about the city's different, Dax. Do you feel it too? There are too many guards here. The Haradrim of Ordach seem to be gone, but in their place our guardsmen appear, more vigilant. What has happened to my city of sails? I don't like this. Someone must answer for it, and they will answer for Jajax. Okay. I'm gonna sniff around and see what happened while we were gone. Wait for me and cause no trouble. And yet, he is my brother. Trouble found him. Daxamat? It is you! What are you doing here? Dax, I haven't seen you in an age. I thought you perished in the war, but you must have escaped that fate. Somehow. I take it some portion of your brother's good fortune must have transferred to you. Oh, we could have used you some of that over here. Oh, were you in the battle? I heard that the Corsairs who followed Balchor were slain by an army of dead men, and that they were led by the hated warrior Thorngil, who despised the Umbar so much that he returned to life that he may slay even more. But that cannot be so. Still, there have been strange occurrences here in recent days, ever since the great earthquake that collapsed the Temple of All Sea. People say that he is dead, if such a thing is possible, but the Empire of Ordach did not stand long against the uprising, and when the fighting ended, the Kindred of the Coins announced that neither Sauron nor Ordach would rule again in Umbar. The Kindred claimed that they have ushered in a new age, but for people like you and me, Dax, and like your brother, I don't know if they mean it. The jails are full of thieves and corsairs alike. No opponent of the Kindred lives long after voicing it. If they learn that you sailed with any heir of Castamere, this is not a good day for you to be here, Dax. The Kindred. Who speaks of the Kindred of the Coins? I can only bear so much praise in one day, my friend. But I prefer to complaining, of course. The city is grateful to you and all the Kindred, Kolthexer. It is we who are grateful to your folk. The uprising began in the lower quarter of the city. The heirs of Castamere could not have been defeated by only 7 people after all. Such things need bodies. Oh, who's your friend here? What's your name? Daxamat? Interesting. Some there are who lead, and some here who follow. And even the Kindred of the Coin is subject to this rule, my new friend. Azavat the Storm Shadow prides himself on leading. He does so with aplomb. Rothog the Storm carries out the wishes of those who give him the commands, and they are made stronger with every swing of his mighty fist and every bite of his sharp teeth. Ask the heirs of Castamere who attended the half-troll's last bout before the sea stone mutiny about his teeth. A private joke, Daxamat, but heed these words, for they are also true. The wisest of all is he who knows when to lead and when to follow. The wisest is he who knows when to speak and when to listen. And which are you, my new friend? And whom do you follow? The heirs of Castamere? Or perhaps the Church of the All-Seeing? The city has many foes, and sometimes they require some rooting out. The uprising in Umbar was thorough, but as Aghast mused aloud about he sometimes wonders if it was thorough enough. So, you were not here when all this occurred. Need I ask, where lie your loyalties? Holotek, you villain! Where are the supplies you promised my husband? Nakashi, my love? The things I promised to you have already been loaded onto your ship. I have my own voyage to make, and it is longer than yours. You have to go, Dax, before Holotek remembers that you're here. Quietly, through the northern exit. Through the northern exit. That'd be this way? Oh, well, what's wrong? Dax, this place is no longer safe for us. The Kindred of the Coins intends to imprison or put to death any freebooters and pirates that does not sail in support of them. There's no time. We have to leave this city. Quickly! Back to the ship! Alright. Back to the ship. As quickly as we may. Well, at least we got some information. I presume that happened before Tumuldo was murdered by the heirs of Castamere.
Orwick alone allowed us to escape. But if good fortune permitted it, ill fortune was soon to follow.
A sudden storm rose up and swamped the boat with which we escaped, and when at last I came to shore, it was back to Gondor that I had been delivered. Of Dax, there was no sign. I am certain that my brother lives, for he has survived much worse than that, sturdy crab that he is. Yeah, well, Prince Imrahil and King Elessar should be told about the situation that you encountered in Umbar, and the... Well, it's good that you owed favors and coin by kings and princes, Pineleaf. I accept your offer. I have not been the guest of a royal court, such as this before. Well, not an invited one, anyway. Alright, well, let's get back to the palace then. Also, I can guess where that dwarf went to, since I would presume that his journey was to head out and visit his fellow dwarves that we spoke to later on. Well, let's see what Imrahil has to say.
I said to keep an eye on him, not to bring him to my court.
Why should I trust the things that he says of Umbar or of the Kindred of the Coins? How do we know that he's not one of them? Why should I trust one of the Corsairs who so troubled our coast during the war and who continues to do so even now? Have you taken the leave of your senses?
Evil tidings have come to Dol Amroth from the coastline of Anfalas.
These are tidings that have hardened my heart against such men as this Jajax. But you need not hear them from me. Speak instead with Captain Myro, for he left Outer Gondor just days ago, afoot and without a ship. Okay, tell Pineleaf why this was your manner of travel, Captain. Oh? I think I remember him.
If you command me to speak, my prince, I will. But the pain is fresh.
The pain is fresh, and the losses I suffered there will haunt me to the end of my days. I came afoot because my ship, the Alfrafal, was burned off the coast of Umphalis by corsairs of Umbar just days ago. Some of my crew survived and made the journey back to Dol Amroth overland with me, but too many good sailors died to fire and water and corsair blades. I demand to know why you now host in this palace one of the monsters who set my sail ship aflame. Well, what was Jajax's response to that?
You could tell this weepy old sailor that I was not involved with the burning of his precious ship.
And my proof of this, Pine Leaf, is that he still lives. If I had been there, he and his crew would have been spared. Oh. Would have been, oh. Aye. They would have been spared the walk back to the city. Tell him this too. I have not burned his ship, but if he gets another, it would be wise to steer it far from Jajax in the future. It's probably not the most diplomatic way of wording that. Hi, sir.
Silence! I will allow no fighting in the Palace of the Swan.
King Elessar, these tidings of Umphalis make it clear to me that you should make a change in plan that we discussed. If the corsairs of Umbar remain active along the coast of Langstrand, it is too dangerous for you to continue that way. Instead, you should make preparations to return to Minas Tirith. I will allocate a number of SWAT knights to attend you in this journey, if you so desire. Something tells me that he doesn't desire the bit about turning back.
I value your words, Prince Imrahil. I cannot heed the warning they contain.
The suffering of Umphalis makes it more necessary a destination for me, not a lesser one. I will see the state of things in Outer Gondor with my own eyes, and I will aid the people there as best I can, despite the danger, or perhaps because of it. Well, what have you got to say?
The prince wants to know where I am going. That is my own concern.
Being his guest is already grown tiresome, my friend. Farewell, Pineleaf. Perhaps I will see you again, and perhaps not. Oh well. He does tend to be a bit mercurial.
Watch that one carefully if your paths cross again.
He may not be responsible for the burning of the Alfrafal Pineleaf, but I think it need not matter. How many good men do you think that he has slain during his life as a corsair? Whether he fights on behalf of the heir of the Castamere, or the kindred of the coin, or for himself, does it really matter to the men whose lives he's taken, or those ships that he burnt? Watch that one carefully, if your paths cross again.
If I cannot convince the king not to travel to Umphalis while it remains threatened,
I beg you, my lord, that you will continue delaying long enough, or perhaps for the journey. The storehouse and armories of Dol Amroth are yours to make use of as you will. Take the time to prepare, for I will not have it said that I sent you into the outer fates without adequate supply or warning. Okay. Well, what do you say about that, sir?
I understand Prince Imrahil's concerns. Let this, then, be the compromise.
I will remain for a few days' time in Dol Amroth, preparing to travel to Umphalis, but Some of the company will instead journey north into the Blackroot Vale. The people there, and their lord Dwaythir, have lost much in the defenses of Gondor. After the folk of the Vale have had some of their needs met and their concerns heard, the smaller group will rejoin the larger traveling party outside Donfalis, and we will together visit Langstrand. You will go to the Blackwood Vale, Pineleaf? Will with you I send Legolas, Gimli, and my scribe Carabar. There are two roads which you may go to the Vale, but I leave you the choice of which one to take. The shorter but more dangerous road of Tarling's Crown, or the longer but safer road through Lamedon to the east, through Calimbel, Lothgobel, and Dinadad. Whichever road you choose, your destination will be easily seen from afar. The hill of Erech towers above the Blackroot Vale. Well, as for which one I take, since I still have some things to do in Lamedon, I will of course go via Lamedon. But I believe first I need to go and look for other quests that may be in the city, which is what we'll do in the next episode of The Song of Waves and Wind.